Welcome to day 3. Today is the final day and we are going to talk about creating magnetic content to attract your ideal clients. We've been talking a lot about you, about what makes you special, about what you need to really stand out and what your real message is. Today we're talking about how to actually speak, post, share content that is magnetic to your ideal client. And by being magnetic, I literally mean like a magnet. You want to just keep doing your job. Your job is to show up, to create content, to be yourself, to overcome your freaking fears and do what you know you need to do. You know what to do. There's people in this group who posted, I know I'm not visible enough because I'm actually not visible. Yeah, okay, be visible, please. And I know there's people in this group who know us, who are struggling as well to find their specialty and what they should actually talk about and who should listen to them. You are on track. Keep asking yourself those kind of questions. And again, I don't accept there's nothing special about me, I have nothing to say. This is not valid for any single person in the world. You just have to keep digging. You have to keep digging with your journal, with all the things. So, we're talking magnetic content for your ideal clients. I have mastered this, but sometimes I don't know how or why. Sometimes I feel like, I'm posting content and creating fresh content every single day. And I try to do it first thing in the morning when I'm still fresh, when I'm just coming out of my mindset journaling session, before I have reacted to notifications and read other people's posts. So I try to really come up with new, fresh, inspired, honest content. And I usually just come up as I usually share what's going on in my life. When I'm frustrated with something, I create a piece of content out of that. When I need to uplift my energy, I do a live stream in one of my groups and it does that. So content is kind of part of what I really love doing. I just express what's going on in my life. This is nothing I can plan out. I share my wins, I share my struggles. I shared a post today about my struggles with boundaries and how other people do it and how I would love to do it, in a sense of, oh, I'm posting this private insight into my life because maybe I'll find a new client who signs up for my $10,000 coaching package. I don't have this kind of thought or this kind of intention. All I do is showing up, sharing what's going on, the good, the bad, the ugly, and speaking about myself and about results as well. So today we're talking about the things your ideal client cares about. I think it's one thing to get to know you and it's one thing to get to trust you. And I think that's super important before you fall through the door with buy my offer, which is only $299, blah, whatever. Before you come across with a sales pitch, people need to know you and people need to trust you. That's one thing. However, it's not about you all the time. And as much as I love to share my life and my travels and my personal struggles, the whole magic of really creating magnetic content for your ideal client means that you know how to speak to your ideal client. This kind of makes it very important that you know who your ideal client is. I know there's some people who are very, very clear on that and some people who are just at the beginning yet. But what I want you to do for this exercise and the 3 journaling prompts I'm going to give you for today is pick one person in your mind. Especially if you have several ideal clients or they're just still a bit, it's women between 35 and 45. That's not your ideal client. So what we're going to talk about today requires that you have kind of an idea of who your ideal client is. Give it your best shot, yeah? You don't have to have an age segment. You don't have to know where they live. You don't have to know if they're male or female. What I want you to know about them is how they feel, what people tell them, and what you disagree with. What bullshit do other people tell them? Comes so easy for me. This is the most natural for me to create content. When I see other people telling newbie coaches they have to do this, they have to do this, they have to do webinars, they have to do sales funnels, they have to do group programs, they have to do courses, they have to have passive income. That is when I wake up intuitively and I'm like, no, all you freaking need to do is create content that stands out and have the freaking right mindset for people to trust you to help them. That is my opinion and that is kind of my message. And that is then what I share with my people. Now, why does that speak to those people? That speaks to those people because they've done it. They've signed up for the sales funnel freebies, for the webinar freebies, for the how to create your blah, blah, blah freebie. They started to create a course, which is then $27, and then they sell 3, and they had like 3 weeks of work for 3 times $27, and they're done with this. And then a post comes along where someone says, have you tried this? Have you signed up for all the freebies? Have you run a webinar? Have you done this? Have you done this? And it all led nowhere. Here's why. And then I start to speak my message, and I start to share why I think it's about something different. And there's people who disagree with that, yeah? There's people who think they need a sales funnel before they find their first paying client. Go for it. I disagree, because funnels are about automating. Funnels are about when you can't hold yourself from all the people who want to work with you anymore, then you want to automate things. If you currently are not in a situation where you can't save yourself from all the people who want to work with you, don't worry about automation in your business yet too much. I have one live stream somewhere on my business page which is called Don't Worry About Passive Income as long as you don't have any active income. That's kind of my basic rule. So that is my message, and that is what speaks to people who are in this situation. First question today, in your journal, and then afterwards create a post out of it. What is your ideal client being told by other people, by coaches, by their society, by whatever? What do they believe that you highly disagree with? And I say that intentionally because this is not going to be a fluffy post. This is not going to be a post that is like everybody else's post. This is going to be a post where you will share an opinion that you have, where you will actually tell me, this is what everybody thinks, and I think that's wrong because. This is what everybody's telling everyone, and I think this is bullshit because. Give me anything. If you're a virtual assistant, it can be that people think you can only hire your first virtual assistant once you have 6 figures in your business and are completely overwhelmed. Well, I think it's actually really much smarter to hire help before you're overwhelmed so you can get to your 6 figures in your business first and easier and happier. Example for virtual assistant, yeah? One of my messages as well is, what is my ideal client being told? They're told they need the strategies, and they need this and this and this, and the website, branding, colors, blah, blah, blah. What I truly believe they need is the right mindset, is the right ability to work through their own blocks, ability to work through their own self-sabotage so they can level up by themselves quickly and again and again and again, and that is how they will sell with conviction. That would be my answer to this question. So again, the question is, what is your ideal client being told, and what do they believe that you strongly disagree with? Strongly. You are really thinking this is bullshit and you're calling out on this bullshit in a post. That's your homework. Second question is, why can you help them with that? Why can you help them to make their life easier, to struggle less, to go on the right path on how things actually work? Why can you get them faster results? Why can you save them time? How can you save them money? How can you save them nervous breakdowns? Whatever you can help them with. Why can you help them with that? And the third question is, why can you help them with that best? Why, if you are a web designer and there is 100 million thousand web designers, can you help this person best? Is it because you're cheap? Is it because you're fast? Is it because you're great at graphic designs and it really looks pretty? Is it because you're great with SEO? Are you great with creating a website based on their expectations? What is it? Why can you help them best? Why are you, for this one particular person that has been told all this bullshit, the best person to help? How? That is part 3. You need to be able to answer those questions. They will help you with your message, with your podcast interview, with your conviction in yourself, with your confidence, with your sales, with your marketing, literally with everything. And if you struggle to answer those 3 questions the first time, do it again. This is not a 3 weeks and then the world ends and you can never repeat this. It's a lot to write, and it's amazing questions to get clear on how to speak to your client in a way that converts as well, that they will really be drawn to you. This is not a one-time homework. If you are not used to talk to yourself in that way, this is hard. And if you've never done this kind of work, and if you've never asked yourself, how can I help my ideal client, and how am I actually the best person to help my ideal client, this is not easy. I'm not saying this is a 5 minutes exercise in your journal, but I'm telling you, if you will be able to answer those kind of questions, this will absolutely transform your content. If you can answer those kind of questions, this will be a massive breakthrough for you in your content. This will be massive breakthrough for you in regards of how to create content that speaks to your ideal clients, that converts, that makes people to reach out to you. I don't know if you've experienced this, but the first time I've created content where people were really messaging me and were like, thank you so much, Susie, for sharing this. This helped me so much. Or people who follow me since months and months and months, I've never heard of them, and then they suddenly send me an email and are like, you don't know me, but I know you because I've been following the whole journey from when you just started out to when you quit your job to when you started traveling around the world to now being on the road since 10 months. And I am now ready to work with you. I don't care how much it is. I know you're the right person for me. And that happens before I ever spoke to that person. How is that possible? By you creating that kind of content, by you having a strong opinion, by you disagreeing with what everybody else is sharing. You don't have to say, oh, all those other coaches are talking bullshit, I'm the golden banana that knows the solution for everything. You don't have to bash on other people to do that. But you can say, look, this is what people like you very often hear, this is what people like you very often are told, and this is how I disagree with that, because I think actually it can be easy. I don't think you have to work hard to make lots of money. Like, first time I made multiple 5 figures in my business was when I was in a Caribbean cruise and hopping from Martinique to St. Lucia to Barbados to I don't know where. I was just basically beach hopping. When people tell people what you have to do to make 5-figure runs, I'm like, nah. Yes, you kind of have to do the work, and it's not going to happen overnight, but yes, you're allowed to have fun, yes, you're allowed to have time to travel, and no, you don't have to stick to your laptop 80 hours per week to make a lot of money in your business. You have your 3 questions. It's so real compared to most Facebook groups where you scroll through and you see, I'm awesome because blah blah, I'm awesome because blah blah, I'm awesome because blah blah, and you don't see anything real about the person actually. But that is what shows you as well how powerful just those 3 posts that you create here are for your content, for your marketing, for showing up as true you and creating content from your soul. So I'll leave you with this homework. I know it's not an easy one. Try your best. There's nothing to do wrong. You can only win here by trying something new, by sharing something, and by growing, and by learning, and by asking yourself questions you maybe never asked yourself before or don't do it very often. Thanks so much for that. Thanks for being part of that challenge. Bye, girls.